that alone will let people know, well, this thing that I'm working over here, why are we doing it then? Because it doesn't align to the business,
Hmm.
right? So it's those things that I've seen where people are in silo, busy doing something, but it's not driving the main thing needed for the business as a whole. They may be just like this
Yeah.
in their department, and it might help their department a little, or it might help one person,
Yeah.
right? But it's like the goal is really, should you be wasting your time on X versus do Y, so that there are bigger outcomes and things drive forward, and we're not just doing business as usual, status quo things that, well, those 12 steps over there could be done in 5, but because we're always used to doing it in 12, we're just going to keep doing it.
Welcome to Connecting the Dots, guys. We're back again with another episode, and we have someone that is one of my local friends here in Fort Lauderdale. Her name is Wendy Smith. She's the founder of the Soomitz Group, which is a woman and minority-owned consulting firm that brings clarity and structure to operational chaos. With over 20 years of experience across IT, healthcare, government, and transformation, Wendy helps teams deliver projects successfully, even if they're not formally trained in project management. She also is a dynamic speaker who equips audiences with practical, action ready tools to lead and execute with confidence. Whether it's through workshops, consulting, or stage talks, Wendy makes project success accessible, energizing, and achievable. Wendy,
Yes,
welcome,
ma'am.
welcome.
Thanks for having me, Jessica. I appreciate it. Definitely.
Of course, of course. And I'm super excited for this episode because we're both in project management.
Yes,
But
we are.
we have like a little we have a different approach, but
Of
all
course.
making sure that our projects are successful.
And I think we also have that overlap of technology too,
Yes, we
IT
do.
project management. So, yeah. Uh-huh. I
Yes,
know you were my people when we first met. So,
exactly.
it's definitely
Exactly.
great.
Yeah. So tell me about your journey, Wendy. Like, have you always wanted to do project management? Did you have other dreams, or like what is your story?
So, I've always wanted to be in IT, and I started my career as um, like a tech, right? Doing support,
Hmm.
providing in-house support in wherever I'm located. And just whenever I saw opportunities, I pretty much jumped at it, right? And had the opportunity to um, manage or support a really large organization that was related to DHS, right? And I came across, I met someone and they were doing something called project management. I'm like, what is project management, right? I don't know what that is, but
Mhm.
I've heard it multiple times. So let's do a little bit of research and so on. And, just keeping my eyes open and seeing the things that was happening in my organization, I had the opportunity to do project management training through the organization and did the exam, and I passed, and now I'm certified. And I said, I have to do more with this certification, not just support, but actually, like, the things that I was doing was already project management without me realizing it.
Yeah.
Some things are, you have to connect the dots, as as you say, right? So I'm realizing that, wait, I have been, making some plans here and executing on some things and monitoring some things. So, I wanted to expand my expertise a little bit more, and went to multiple other, because IT is applicable across multiple industries,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
So
it
I
is.
was able to go to healthcare and a fitness company and automotive and just all these different industries, just to gain more knowledge and so on. And then now I've decided that I want to be able to help those other teams that they don't have project managers, but they still have the responsibility of delivering some
Yeah.
form of initiative that they were given. And so just to help them with those techniques, not to turn them into project managers, but to give them these simple techniques that they can use, give their leadership visibility, give them the ability to make quicker decisions and to just deliver on the things that they had promised.
I think you're one of the few people that I know that actually wanted to be in IT, like as like a career. Yeah,
Not
yeah.
an accidental ended up into IT. No, I wanted
Yeah.
it. I wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like what was like your upbringing like? Like were you exposed to a lot of tech, or like what caught you where you're like, this is what I want to do?
Weirdest thing as a kid. So I grew up in Jamaica, right? And growing up as a kid, I remember the moment we went to visit, my mom and I went to visit one of her friends, and the friends had kids, and we were outside playing, and we went over to a neighbor's house, and they had this thing called a computer. And I'm like, what is this? And I don't remember exactly what we did, but all I knew is that I wanted to do something related to this, to computers. That was all my thing, right? I want to do something related to computers. What exactly? Just computers. So I wouldn't say I was so exposed to tech all the time. I just knew that was an interest of mine. So however I could, I got exposed to it. And when I went to college in Jamaica, I actually, went into the department that they were teaching all those things. And
Mm.
some of it was like, huh?
Mhm, mhm.
But some of it was really, really good. So, I mean, from there, just kept blossoming and going into more and more things as long as it's technology related. But as I went through, I realized what I wanted to do and what I didn't want to do. I love
Mm.
programming, but I could tell you if I'm into the weeds of programming too much, I'm going to start dreaming about it. So I realized I'm not doing programming. So I went on into other things within IT.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Hmm.
there's so much within IT. And
So much.
like, it's crazy when I was trying to figure out like how to position my firm. Everybody's like, what industry? And I'm like, well, it's a function.
Yes. Yes. When you are of the mindset that, well, IT is across so many, everybody uses IT, right? So I'm translating that now into my business just as you are. And I came across that too. I'm like, what industry? I'm like, yes, I've been in many, many industries doing IT. That's across all. So it is really, yeah, I could see that challenge. For
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah.
How did you get into IT?
Oh, how did I? I
Yes,
fell into
ma'am.
it.
You fell
I
into
fell
it?
into it. Yeah, I got into tech by accident. It's like really funny, especially seeing all the champions for getting into tech and how hard it is. I'm like, well, I guess it was just meant for me to be here because it was quite easy. Like, but yeah, I fell into it. So initially, like, I really wanted to get into fashion design and stuff. Like, I got
Hmm.
accepted into FIT. It was just like a fashion school in New York.
Hmm.
And my dad told me I wouldn't make any money. So I'm like, okay. And I was applying to just a bunch of different schools in New York as well. So I got accepted into Stony Brook Universities. And so I was studying pre-med economics. So the economics was a backup plan because I'm like, I mean, I know you're a doctor. I'll try this out, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
I
I
hear
literally,
fashion, economics, pre med. Okay. That's the path to technology, everyone.
yeah, right. Right. Oh, and then so like I pulled out of the pre med stuff. Like I had applied and everything. I was like starting to get interviews. I'm like, you know what? This is not me. I want to live life. So quickly pivoted and just was kept on like the econ finance path. And I got accepted to FIU, their master program for finance. thought I was going to be investment banker, couldn't get an investment banker job, but I got like reporting analyst job. So from reporting analyst, doing the numbers, doing the reports, understanding how like operational business works, and just, I guess, that feedback loop between your numbers and what you're going to do.
Right.
Then it went into managing the systems that you get your reports from. So then doing like small little enhancement projects. Then it went to, okay, we want to replace this whole entire purchasing system. All right, let's do the whole evaluation and, system stuff, all that, whatever, system selection. Then it went to, okay, I'm going to do like consulting, right? So let's do some implementations for Microsoft Dynamics, So it was just like this natural progression of running numbers, then fixing the system where I get the numbers from. Then we're just going to replace systems, and now I'm implementing systems for other companies, and then I get into like software development, consulting. So yeah, I don't know. It's just a natural progression. I never really tried, I guess.
Well, what I am picking up from, your natural progression is that you pivoted as you saw the need. You saw opportunities and you pivoted and you took those opportunities. And so many of us, myself included, have to apply that to our business if we, well, I would say just to life, but if we're being business specific, pivoting is definitely key because you could be in the lab thinking you're going to provide XYZ to everybody, and you come out and you realize, oh, nobody wants that. So, right, you just have to pivot.
Yeah, I guess you're right with keeping the pulse on things. And
Yeah.
pivoting back to you with keeping the pulse on things, like I know that you mentioned about training people on how to be more successful with their projects. So what made that like really stick to your heart? Because like for me, like I can see where people need training, but I feel like I'm like, I don't know. I'm not a trainer like that. Like I'll do
Right.
trainings, but it's not my main bread and butter.
Right. I get you. I get you.
Yeah.
I think it's something that's just innate in me. If I'm just talking to a friend and they're expressing something that they're interested in, and I have not just opinions, but like I have examples where I have done something that, could help them, then okay, let's talk about it. And I think let's try this, and maybe it'll work. If that doesn't work, then, and I ask questions and so on. And just from doing that with multiple people, I realized that I teach people without going out to say, I'm going to teach people type of thing. So that's one. Two, being in IT, being in the IT department, they have project managers, and we're always, implementing whatever solution for the rest of the business. And I've observed that for the rest of the business, they too also have projects going on, but there aren't enough project managers out there. So people are just doing what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, things that I've been noticing is people are just busy. Oh, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy. Okay, what are you working on? We can't get a clear sense of what people are working on. And then leadership gets frustrated because things aren't being delivered that's supposed to be delivered. Why isn't it being delivered? They're asking for so many things. I'm like, well, if there was visibility to say, these are the priority projects that everyone should be working on, or that is the priority of the business, that alone will let people know, well, this thing that I'm working over here, why are we doing it then? Because it doesn't align to the business, right? So it's those things that I've seen where people are in silo, busy doing something, but it's not driving the main thing needed for the business as a whole. They may be just like this in their department, and it might help their department a little, or it might help one person, right? But it's like the goal is really, should you be wasting your time on X versus do Y, so that there are bigger outcomes and things drive forward, and we're not just doing business as usual, status quo things that, well, those 12 steps over there could be done in 5, but because we always used to doing it in 12, we're just going to keep doing it. Those type of inefficiencies. So I've seen it
Yeah.
multiple places that I've
Right.
worked, right? And I figure I'd like to help whomever I can, little groups of people at a time, to be
Yeah.
like, here are some practical techniques. Not giving people theory. I mean, we are PMP certified. I'm not trying to train someone how to become a project manager or know all the things within
Yeah.
PMP, right? Just simple,
Yeah.
practical things. Start using this in your department, right? See
Yeah.
how it works, pivot, as we say,
Mm-hmm.
and, go from there. So that's the
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah, and that's something I've definitely seen, like all the places I've been as well. And my question to you is,
Hmm.
what would you summarize as like the common root cause issue that causes all these people to be in silos or working on things that aren't relevant?
Sometimes it is really from top down. If leadership is not showing everyone that, hey, it's okay for us all to talk, and it's okay for you to bring a problem, that, hey, this project that we're working on is going downhill, that there isn't a fair to mention that there are problems. People, I've seen where people aren't quick to raise the flag that there is a problem. I'm just going to do what I'm doing, and they'll see if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Those attitudes kind
Mm-hmm.
of thing. And that's not helpful to anyone, really. But again, it needs to come from leadership to say, hey guys, these are the priorities of our company. These are translated, of course, translated down to your teams, and let give people support to be able to do the things they need to do to drive all these initiatives forward. Another problem that I'm seeing, and that's just across everywhere, and I definitely can't solve that problem, is teams are getting leaner, right?
Yes.
They're getting leaner. It's very unfortunate with the fact that, there's a market of a lot of highly skilled people out there, but who require jobs, right? But there are companies that are saying, well, we can do a lot with less people. It's great to see. However, those less people are wearing 50 hats each. And burnout is even more, right? So when you are working with a leaner team and you're not going to hire more people, then that's where that priority, like have some priority sessions and be
Mm-hmm.
like, all 100 projects are not a priority, because then that means nothing is a priority. So
Exactly.
let's determine, okay, what's the top 10? What's the top 20 we should focus on right now? Put some timelines to it. And then after that, look on your next top 10, top 20, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and make sure that makes sense. But sometimes it's, oh, this is a priority. No, this is a priority. And your team gets whiplash and overworked and crazy and
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
so I think that priority piece is just going through a priority exercise will help a lot. Get everyone on the same page. No, that's not a priority. Yes, this is a priority. And everyone gets refocused and just focus on the right things.
Mm-hmm. What would you say is the biggest unlock for the leaders that you're working with to get them to just stay focused on what is truly their top priority versus being, pushed with the wind?
Oh, finding a regular cadence to, okay, everyone, let's huddle. Let's go over this again. Right? Last quarter, these were the priorities, right? Still in progress. These additional things came on. Are these Q1, for example, Q1 items still a priority? Or, just it's like when you show people versus just talking, when you show people on a screen that these are the decisions that were made last time, is it still a priority right now? These are the people that we currently have working on these things. And these are some of the issues that are going across the board. And from there, when you show what's exactly happening without giving opinion, that's where multiple people will see and be able to spark a conversation, right? Because that's the aim of it. It's not for me to tell people, well, shouldn't do this, you should do that. It's more to spark a conversation so that they can collectively make a decision. These are the priorities now. As of today, these are now the priorities.
Mm-hmm.
And for that thing that we had started 10 months ago and it's still not going anywhere, let's put it on hold right now because the market has changed or whatever decision they may have at the time, you know? So
Yeah.
it's that continual cadence, maybe a quarterly cadence of let's talk about prioritization again.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
has been a big eye opener.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome. And so, like, I love this question, right? So, based off of everything that you've experienced, things you've seen, the unlocks, the transformations you've seen within organizations, what would you say is like your top three things that you highly, highly recommend either leaders or people who want to be more of a leader, who really care about, you know, the health and wellness and everything of where they work or their business? What would you say is the top three things that they should work on to get the results and get the, you know, flow and ease and, you know, overall good feelings that come when things are under control and you have a successful project going?
Well, top three. I'll just talk, whether it's three or not, I don't know. Right? Everything is relationships, right? And you have to be talking to people. Can't stay just behind a desk and expect all things to be reported to you. And if you don't hear about it, then it means all is well, per se. Not, I wouldn't agree on that. I would say definitely talk to people, talk to your teams, talk to your project manager if you have one, talk to people individually, one on one. Just get a feel. How is it going, right? And not only people in your direct circle, those who report to you and so on, but others in other departments. Find out what they're doing, how things go, and see if there's overlap with the projects you have or your priorities, right? Because you know, sometimes two different departments are working on the same exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I have seen where some leaders have amnesia and they don't remember telling one group that they want X and they want to.
That's true. That's true.
it, it is crazy. So my biggest thing, if anyone takes anything away, is it's just that relationship. You have to be out there talking to people, talk to your groups, talk to individual one on one. You know, whether it's another leader or it's someone like right there that have the direct. You know, the worker bee or working with the customer or who is actually doing the executing,
Mm-hmm.
boots to the ground, ask them, what are some of the issues you're experiencing? How do you think we can solve it? Because people like to be able to provide answers and options and so on. Now, you know, it's up to you to determine if you're going to take it or not. But people like that they're being asked, oh, you're asking me as to what we can do? Okay, I have a few ideas,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that if you don't do anything else, do that. And that will drive better decision making
Yeah.
on what you should be doing, the direction you should be going, what changes needs to be made. You know, just like your reports, when you said that you create all these reports, you don't just create the reports, you show them how to read the reports and what actions to take from these reports.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, same.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you so much, Wendy. And where can people find you?
I am on LinkedIn. I would say I'm the only Wendy Smith with a bunch of things behind her name. But if you look up Wendy Smith PMP, then you'll definitely see me and just connect and tell me where you found me on Jessica's podcast. You know, let's connect the dots.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, Wendy, thank you so much
Nice.
for coming on. I feel like we definitely need to have a part two and
Yes, ma'am.
get more into story, like your story and challenges. Because there's navigating through these IT groups is it's not easy sometimes, So I know we didn't
No,
get to
it's
touch.
not. No, it's not easy because they
Yeah,
don't report to you, right? As a project manager, they
exactly.
don't report to you. But yes, there are challenges across, and it's not just IT, but the businesses as well. So,
Yeah, that's true.
mhm.
So yeah, let's definitely get a part two and then dig into those stories.
No
But
problem.
thank you so much for coming on, Wendy.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, Jessica.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening and thanks for watching. If you were inspired by what you heard, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.